Easter, but we're back now. And this evening I thought I would try something different. Tonight's theme is patience. And if you live in the province of Ontario, you are currently not just in a lockdown, but you're under stay-at-home orders. And for a lot of us, this is resting heavily upon us. We've been over a year now, as you know, and I know other countries are suffering just as much as we are. And we're interesting here in Canada because we have 3 of the variants of concern currently circulating. So it's quite a bit of trepidation that it's putting us under. So when I thought about a theme for this week, the first thing that came to mind was patience. Because now I think we really all have to dig a little deeper just to have a little bit more patience so that we can get through this together. And when we think about patience, it really is a virtue that isn't celebrated much anymore. If we look at our life, the world we live in right now, expediency is celebrated. Speed, how fast you do something, how efficient you are. We have Amazon Prime that can practically deliver something the same day you order it. You know, we're used to driving. What does it really mean to be patient? So when you think about patience, what is it really? It's really adding that pause between the stimulus and the response. It's really what it is. Instead of reacting right away, you're actually making yourself wait and reflect before you respond to something. It's hard for all of us. I know it's hard for me for sure. And it's something that I have to remind myself every day. You know, instant gratification, yeah, we've come to be used to that. But isn't it great sometimes when you wait for something to develop and then to happen in its own time? How much more fulfilled do you feel? So with tonight's meditation, again, I will start with the bell and finish with the bell, and we'll do our usual breathing to calm our minds, and then we're going to take a little journey. And let's just hope it brings us all into feeling a little more patient. So find yourself a comfortable position, whichever one works for you, seated, lying down, whatever feels good. And settle in to your spot. Let's take a couple of deep breaths. So let's breathe in, hold, and breathe out. And breathe in, hold, and breathe out. Now you can close your eyes if it feels comfortable for you. Otherwise, just try to keep an unfocused gaze. So let's take a few moments to settle into the position that we've chosen. And let's take a scan of our body as it is right now. Let's see if you need to make any adjustments to make yourself just a little bit more comfortable. And as we embark on tonight's meditation, let's bring to mind the 3 tenets of mindfulness. The first is our attention. I'll be guiding you first to reflect on your body, your mind, and then I will take you on a visualization journey. And if at any point you feel uncomfortable, or maybe the visualization isn't working, give yourself permission to either come out of the meditation or just go back to feeling the breath within your body. The second tenet is intention. So tonight, I'm going to try to meditate on patience and learn what it means for each of us. And finally, the most important tenet is attitude. Now let's call to mind an incident where you were impatient with someone. Maybe you were in traffic, waiting in line at the grocery store, or speaking with a colleague. What feelings arose that made you lose your patience? How did it feel in your body? How did you react? And did it help or did it hinder your situation? Now let's let that memory dissolve, and let's bring to mind the time when someone was patient with us. Maybe you were learning something new. Maybe you were just taking a little bit longer than the person wanted. How did you feel when you noticed they were being patient with you? What thoughts came to your mind? And did their patience help or hinder your situation? Now let's let that memory dissolve. And let's imagine that we find ourselves in a forest. It's just before dawn. It's not a very dense forest. You can clearly see the sky. And it feels very safe here, very calm. We're walking on a loamy ground. It's very soft underfoot. The air is fresh. You can start hearing birds waking up and chirping. You walk for a while, and as you exit the forest, you come across a clearing. There's this beautiful lake. It's beginning to reflect the sun's rays as it rises. There's mist still coming off the lake. To one side is a beautiful field filled with wildflowers. And in the clearing, there's this majestic oak near the bank of the lake. And next to it, there's a boat. You approach the boat, and inside is a fishing rod and fishing gear. Looks like there's even a picnic basket with all your favorite lunch food. You decide, I'm going to try fishing. So you slowly paddle out to the middle of the lake. The water is crystal clear. It's spring-fed. It's teeming with life. You bait the line and you cast off, and then you wait. The sun is slowly beginning to rise. It's a perfect temperature. There's a slight breeze, and you could smell the wildflowers from the meadow. And some time goes by. There's not even a nibble. But you don't mind. Because it's so tranquil and it's so peaceful. And you're just comfortable taking in the surroundings. As you're sitting in the boat in the lake, you hear some rustling in the forest. And you turn to see a majestic buck emerge. It looks at you, but it's not startled. It just takes a drink and then goes back into the forest. You decide to try your luck again. So you bait and cast. And this time, you turn your complete focus to the rod and the line, feeling for any changes. And within a few moments, you catch yourself a fish. You repeat the process And then by lunchtime, you have about 3 or 4 fish. And you decide to paddle back to the shore and have yourself a picnic. The only sounds are the water lapping up against the rocks, occasional birds, an insect buzzing by. It's just perfect tranquility. After lunch, decide to try again. Row out to the middle of the lake. And just take a moment to look at the trees, the sky, the wonderful sunshine, the meadow. Taking in the beauty as it is right now. And you think to yourself, you've never been this relaxed. I can't remember the last time. So you decide to fish a little bit more, to try your luck. Cast your line. Your attention is drawn to the shore. You see some bunnies playing. And delight in their mischief. You check your line and you notice the bait is gone. Oh, I guess your mind must have wandered. So you bait it again and cast. This time, bringing your full attention to the rod and line. There's no point getting frustrated or angry. It's not going to make you catch fish any easier. Just have to settle your mind and focus on the task at hand. A few more casts and you catch a couple of more fish. Your patience has paid off. It's late afternoon now. I decide my fishing is done for today. You pull back to the shore and decide to just sit under the tree and just watch the sun begin to set. Your mind is clear, your body is relaxed, and you're grateful from this break from the rush and hecticness of life. You decide it's time to head home. You grab your fish and return to the forest. You make your way slowly home. We can feel this serenity at any time. If we pause, reflect, and feel instead of just reacting. Letting ourselves be instead of just do. Patience is something we each have within us. We just have to remind ourselves. Start bringing your attention back to the space you're in. Start moving your fingers and toes. Slowly open your eyes. As we conclude this meditation. I hope that worked for you as well as it did for me. Patience is something that sometimes we're short of, but it's in with all of us. It definitely is something that we need to cultivate, that pause between stimulus and response. And the longer we pause, the better the result will be. I hope you enjoyed this evening. For those of you who are at stay-at-home, I know how difficult it is. But let's dig down and find a little more patience, as together we can get through this. It really does feel like we're in the home stretch now. And I know this will end, and we will emerge stronger. So I'd like to thank you very much, and please be well.